Do you think that prisoners deserve rights?
Prisoners are human beings. All human beings in the United States are protected by the Constitution. The Constitution applies to everybody, even if you are convicted of a crime. When you do go to prison, there are certain things that you are entitled to, and those are considered to be rights. Those basic rights are 3 meals a day, medical attention, legal assistance by doing research in the legal library. You're entitled to have expression of religion, expression no matter what your religion is. Those are your basic rights. Other things such as telephone calls, visits, correspondence, those kind of interactions are considered to be privileges. You are entitled to receive it, but if you abuse the privilege of, say, a visit or with a telephone call or correspondence based upon a disciplinary charge that may be sanctioned against you, and a hearing officer finds you guilty, that sanction could potentially be revoked. For example, visits. You can only receive visits from those people that are approved to be on your visit list, which are generally your family members. You are allowed a couple friends to be on that list. Every single person who's on that list cannot have a criminal record. It will be researched to see if they do. Once approved, they can come and visit you. However, if you are incarcerated and you are found to be, all inmates are subjected to random urines. If you come up with a hot urine indicating that you have possibly have been part of some CDS, controlled dangerous substance, that you have either smoked, inhaled, or injected, your visit will be revoked for a period of 1 year, pending an appeal after that 1 year and review by the commissioner. So there is a possibility that your visit privilege could be reinstated. However, based upon your behavior while you're there during that 1 year, it may affect your ability to have your visit reinstated or not. Thank you.
Do you think prisoners deserve basic rights?
I believe prisoners do deserve basic rights because they are people too, and they should be given a second chance.
Do you think that prisoners deserve basic rights?
I believe that prisoners do deserve basic rights, meaning to have, food, for nourishment also. But they also have to understand why they're in there, because they committed a crime. There are other things that they do have, which is wonderful, which is rehabilitation, where they have the opportunity to read and to learn and to get counseling for what they did that made them have to be in prison.
Do you think that prisoners deserve basic rights?
Alright, yeah, I think they deserve basic rights like shelter, water, food, to practice all their religions and stuff like that, but I think that they should work for the money that they spend on giving them the shelter and their food and their water, so they should be forced to mine for oil and fossil fuels and different stuff like that. They should be put to work instead of rotting in their cells, and tax money shouldn't go to all the stuff taking care of them and stuff like that. I don't think it's cruel and unusual punishment to force them to work because they're already put to live in the jails and stuff like that, so our money shouldn't go to paying for them to live there without them putting forth an effort to fix their own futures.
Do you think that prisoners deserve basic rights?
Yes, I do.
Do you think that prisoners deserve basic rights?
Yes, of course. Prisoners do. Prisoners are human beings. All prisoners need to be treated as a human being, just like any other person that's on the street. Everybody has to be treated as a human being, and everybody has a right. The Constitution protects all of us for what our rights are.
What is your brother in jail for?
Mainly burglary and drugs, for the most part.
What kind of prison is he in?
Riverfront State Prison, which is maximum security.
Okay. Has he ever complained about his rights being violated to you?
Not that I know of. He doesn't really talk about it.
Does he ever have a story about anything like that?
Not usually. He's boring.
Do prison conditions look okay to you?
Not too bad. Besides, it's really creepy when you go there. Pretty clean.
Do you feel that your brother should have full rights?
Him personally, no, but other people, yeah, somewhat.
Why?
That I really don't know. Just, they should be able to go to the bathroom whenever and not have to ask. Or eat when they want to eat and not have to ask about it.
So you think that they should get like Medicare and
Yeah, for the most part.
be able to practice their religious rights and
For the most part.
yeah.
Not everybody.
Why not? Who shouldn't?
Murderers.
Okay. In prison.
Burglary,
How long were you in prison for?
5 years.
Oh, that's a long time. What kind of prison were you in?
Northern State, it's a maximum security and a gang security.
Okay. Did you experience any kind of like physical or mental or sexual abuse while you were in prison?
Me personally, no sexual abuse. I wouldn't even let that happen. But I seen and heard it on other inmates. For physical, the only thing is fighting for me.
Did you ever see like the guards like not do anything when people were being mistreated, or they just kind of
Definitely.
ignored it?
Yeah.
Did they ever get into? Did they
It all
ever
depends on what shift and who's working and how good of friends you are with the guards. They'll just turn their back.
Oh wow. Okay. Did you witness or know anyone who experienced abuse? Like, were you friends with them and heard them like talk about it, or did they kind of like were they ashamed of it?
We wouldn't let that happen to our friends.
Did you keep to yourself, or were you in like a group?
A group.
What were the conditions like in jail? Like the food, the rooming, the bathrooms?
You ever heard them stories about like where, I don't know, like in foreign, like they're trying to say that the jails over here are a lot better than the foreign ones? I don't think so.
No.
The food is terrible.
Are they unsanitary, or do they at least seem clean? Or?
Well, you make that your own decision. If you're locked in a cell 23 hours a day and you only got one toilet and you got 2 people and you don't come out only for 1 hour, so how you expect to clean everything like that?
Yeah. Okay. Do you think your rights were ever violated?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah. Like what kinds of things?
Stuff that's not in the rule book. Maybe like a correction officer will tell you to do something, you'll refuse because it's not your chore to do and your job. If you refuse, you get he put you down for refusal, direct order. You lose good time and get 30 days in the hole for it.
Okay. And do you feel like after being in prison, do you feel like you and other prisoners should get all the full rights, or do you think certain people shouldn't?
God's honest truth, it all depends on what you're there for.
What kind of people do you think shouldn't?
It depends. You know, everybody has their different opinions and everything, but people that are just there that are only doing like little months or little years and stuff should have more, you know, more rights than the people that are there going to be doing like 10, 15 years.
So what about like murderers and?
It depends. Like I said,
It still just all depends.
depends on when you got in there because like you got rights, but then your rights are always violated. And then if you try to fight your rights, then you got to put up with more disrespect from the guards and everything like that. So and then it's just like when you do need something, they won't get it for you or anything like that because you're already trying to cause them harassment by filling out paperwork because you're being violated.
Okay. Thank you.